Hi everyone, I'm Peggy and welcome to my page. Are you over 60? I am north of 60. I'm actually 67. What kind of makeup did you wear back in the 60s, early 70s? I was a cover girl. I wanted to look like all these cover girls. I don't remember her name, but she tied a bandana around her head and she looked in the mirror and all as the camera was going. She was gorgeous. Again, I don't remember which cover girl she was, but of course she was gorgeous. So anyway, that's what I wanted to look like, and it was limited. Our resources and makeup choices were limited back then. Well, guess what? As a mature woman, they're limited too now. The mature skin, goodness, I am so shiny. I guess I got a little heavy on the eye oil, but that's okay. We'll just deal with it. Anyway, your choices are limited as you get older. If your experience has been like mine, then guess what? Your choice, you almost have no choice. That's the sad part. But I'm here to tell you that what I have found can be a game changer and can change the way you look at your makeup. It's called Seint. Seint is a 3D cream makeup, which only means, that's a scary way to describe it, but what this means is it uses 3 shades to create 1 layer of makeup. It is cream, therefore it doesn't settle into the fine lines and wrinkles on my mature skin face. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is get these bangs out of the way, because we're going to talk too about contour, which is one of the things, this is one of the shades that makes Seint so special, is you get a contour shade and 2 highlight shades. We're not going to put but 1 layer of makeup on our face. We're going to use 1 brush, and what we're going to do is frame our face, give it some depth, definition. We're going to create shadows, and we're going to take some shadows away. But we're also, since I have a little bit of a tan on my face now, my shade is just a little bit, which is this one. This is my main shade, Sandy. It's just a little bit off. It's not quite dark enough. So I'm going to counteract that with some bronzer to give that sun-kissed look, and that way I can get by with the lighter shade. So here we go. I'm sorry, my internet keeps kicking me off, but we'll just keep going. I'm going to start with my contour shade, and I'm using the 3D brush. It has a domed pointy end and a fluffy end. We're going to blend with this one. We're going to place with this one. So what I'm going to do is just tap in, and I'm going to come up here under my hairline, and I'm just going to put some of the contour, I'm going to need my other hand, some of the contour up here around my forehead. Now we're going to blend that in better in just a minute when we do our blend. But this is just to show this is where contour goes. Now I'm going to squeeze my brush to where it's kind of pointy, tap back in, and I'm going to feel for my cheekbone. It's right there. So I'm going to go right on the cheekbone, not past the corner of my eye, and I'm just going to go up with my contour. What I'm doing is creating more of that chiseled look that I don't have because I've got all this other stuff going on since I am north of 60. And so we're going to come over here and we're going to do the same thing right along that jawbone, not jawbone, cheekbone, just to a little bit below it. There we go. Now, are they totally even? No. Do they have to be? No, because what we're going to do is blend. So that will make a difference. Now I'm going to come and I'm going to go to the jaw and define it, but I'm going to stop right here at this divot because I have gel. See these little chubby pockets we have right there? Yeah, well, it happens. So here we're going to start at this divot and go up the jawbone right to behind the ear. Now, I'm just going to catch on the inside of this divot and go under my chin just to give a little bit more of a definition there. Start at this jowl, not quite on top of it, just below it, and go underneath my chin where I have a little bit of a double chin, and also I have a turkey neck. What we did there is create a shadow. That shadow is going to make you notice my chin more than what I have going on under my neck. Now we're going to come to the nose and we're going to contour it. Before Seint, I did not contour anything because I didn't know what contour was. Seint has taught me how to contour and how to use things in my makeup bag, which this is my makeup bag. Everything in one place, how to use these shades to complement what I have, how to bring these features forward that I want you to see, how to elongate my nose, and also how to slim it at the same time. Now, the other beautiful part of contour is I also like to just fill in my eyebrows with my contour shade. If you have a smaller brush, it makes it a little bit easier. You can also use your contour shade as an eyeliner or a lip liner. Now we're going to move to my brightening highlight shade. This is going to be a shade that is pretty light to go through your face, and we're going to brighten it where the sun would naturally shine or hit your face. So we're going to come to the center of, I apologize, I think the heat has something to do with my internet. Center of the forehead, we're going to come right down the middle of the nose. Again, I pinch the brush, and we're doing that to just elongate the nose and to make it appear that much narrower. Is it narrower? No. Does it look narrower? Yes, that's what we're going for. So there we go. We're going to put a little bit of brightener on the Cupid's bow, a little bit on the center of the chin, and where I have these folds. Okay, we created shadows with the darker shade. Now we're going to come and we're going to use our brightening shade, and we are going to get rid of the shadows, which is where my jowls are. So notice how I have contour here and here, but I am brightening the jowl area. Okay, we made shadows, now we're taking them away. And that's because of the folds from the laugh lines and the marionette lines. There we go, then down to the jowl, where the divot is. We're just going to brighten that, and that gives you the illusion of a smoother chin. Now we're going to come to the eyes, and we're only using a little bit of product. We're not doing the V. We're not going all the way under the eye because of the crepe skin that is under there. The beauty of cream makeup too is it does not settle into the fine lines and wrinkles. That is one of the largest points with this cream makeup from Seint. It is so mature skin friendly, it's scary. It's just wonderful. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to pick up my main shade, which is Sandy, and I'm going to tap into it. Again, I'm using the same brush, and Sandy, or your main shade, is like a fill-in. This is a highlight. It's like a fill-in shade to where you put this so when you blend, you're just blending the puzzle pieces together. That's pretty much all you are doing. There we go. And we're going to come and just put a little bit. It's like I say, a fill-in shade. There we go. That's it. That's the main placement. But today we're going to pick up some bronzer. The shade I'm using today is Bella, so I'm going to tap into my bronzer. Where does bronzer go? Where the sun would normally hit your face. Think about when your face gets too much sun. Back in the day or now, if you're not using your sunscreen, it would be like right here. So we're going to put this Bella bronzer right here. Now again, we have our contour, our main shade, and then our bronzer and our brightener. We're going to come and put it right above the contour here on the cheek, right above it. There we go. And again, this is Bella bronzer. You can also go a little more on the cheeks if you like underneath the crepe skin of the eye, and I'm talking way underneath because the higher up you go, the crepier the skin is, or at least mine is. And then I'm going to come and catch some right along my jaw, just above where that contour is. There you go. Now, I like to blend all at one time. You can blend when you want to. My personal preference is to blend all at once. So I'm going to use my lip and cheek shade. This is Tropicana. Tropicana is a semi-gloss and she's beautiful, and I use my finger for that. All right. I like bright, bold shades, but we have any shade you would like. I mean, there's pinks, reds, browns, corals, just whatever. So you get the one you like, and your palette is going to come as 4 shades. You get the contour, the 2 highlight shades, and a lip and cheek. This is a double decker, so I do have a bottom tray to add other things. And this one holds 8. So it's strictly up to you which palette you buy to hold your shades. Okay, now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to catch my blush. We call it lip and cheek, but just a little bit of blush above the bronzer. There we go, just to add that little bit of color. That's it. That's all we're going to do. Now we're going to blend. Cream makeup needs to be set. I like to use a setting spray to dampen my brush. You can use a beauty blender if you like, a damp one. You can spray the setting spray on it, or you can just use water. Either way is totally fine. You're in control with this makeup. It's up to you. So I'm going to spray my brush with Seint setting spray. Any setting spray will work. Okay, I like to start at the jawline. That's just me. There is no right or wrong way. You start where you want to. So I'm just going to gently swirl. I am barely touching my face, and I'm dragging all of this different shades that I put on my face right down my neck. That way there's not a big difference in shade color. Then I'm going to come and I'm just going to stipple the light shades. And I like to kind of go over my eyelid too, just a little bit, just to give it a little bit smoother of a look. Here we go. And then a little bit up here. Now see how, again, I have the 3 shades up here because we did apply bronzer. I have my contour, my main shade, and just a tad of bronzer. So we're just going to make sure the lighter shades are put where they need to be. Just a few taps on the contour on the nose. You don't want to blend it out. You don't want to blend like we used to, like we were taught, just keep blending, 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 because you can blend this to where it just will look like a muddy mess. So a light hand is what you need. Now I'm going to start again at the jawline and catch this bronzer and just gently tap. We call this stippling. So what we're doing is we are spreading, or we're meshing the pieces together, the outside pieces, and we are creating one layer of makeup. Now we're going to have to swirl a little bit right here, and as I have placed this and let it sit, this has warmed to the temperature of my skin, so it's spreading really easily. Now we're going to come up here into the hairline, and we're going to blend in that contour and that main shade. I bet you didn't think it would look like this, did you? I'm going to use the other end just to get a good blend in the corners. And again, this is the only brush that I have used. Now we're going to come to the cheeks. What do you do with this contour, then the bronzer, then the lip and cheek shade? Well, we're just going to stipple up and down, maybe twice. Then we're going to grab it and we're going to stipple it up into the temple, the 3 together. Look how pretty that is. Look how easy that is. Just up and down twice, and then we're going to grab it and just drag it up. There you go. Notice I didn't bring anything to past the corners of my eye. Everything is lifted because I have enough going on down here in the jowl area that when you look at me, I want your eye to stay up, not to come down and focus on this part of my face with all of the stuff that's moved south, so to speak. So anyway, that is it. That is it. We are done. Now, I live in Southeast Louisiana, so it is like ridiculously humid here. Hot, 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 and humid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset my makeup, but this time I'm going to use just a little bit of Seint's Vanilla Dust Setting